All right, the new UFC light heavyweight champion of the world is, of course, Alex Pereira. Once again, gets the job done. Once again, gets it done with the fists or the elbows. Gets the knockout like he always does. And in 7 UFC fights, this man has become a two-weight division champion, and he has beaten 4 UFC current or former champions. That is just unbelievable. Sean Strickland, Israel Adesanya, Jan Blachowicz, and of course, Jiri Prochazka, which went down Saturday night. Madison Square Garden. Unbelievable fight. Jiri started well, ate a few calf kicks, got the takedown, got on top, had some control, landed a couple of elbows, didn't do too much damage. Round 2 it started, Jiri's all over the place, head movement galore, a little bit herky-jerky, a little bit wild, a little bit unconventional, a little bit hands low, okay? Hands were too low. Eats a massive right hand, gets dropped, immediately turns that into a takedown attempt, but then the elbows from Alex Pereira puts him down, puts him out, and yes, put him out. Mark Goddard stopped the fight. I thought it was crazy. Everybody thought it was crazy, but Jiri Prochazka admitted, I went out.
It was right. I was out, but, I will never stop.
So fair play to Jiri Prochazka, but we're not here to give a recap of the fight. That was last week's news. We're here to talk about Alex Pereira's first defense of the light heavyweight title and his next fight. And it ain't going to be Israel Adesanya. We know Alex Pereira said, come to daddy.
Hey, Adesanya, come to daddy.
Okay, and I, for one, I want to see those guys fight. I think Izzy and Pereira do have unfinished business. Now, when you look at the scorecards, it is 3-1 in favor of Alex Pereira. But in mixed martial arts, which is the sport they're competing in, it's 1-on-1. So there has to be a rubber match. But Israel is taking some time off right now. And in the meantime, the man that relinquished the belt, the man that beat Glover Teixeira, Alex Pereira's coach, was Jamahal Hill. Okay, now as we know, he tore his Achilles tendon. He took some time out, but he's on the mend. He's training again. I saw him a couple of weeks ago at the Performance Institute. So the comeback is on its way, okay? And that fight will go down pretty soon. And that is the rightful next fight, okay? Izzy, I think we don't want to see that, but not yet. Not right now. The rightful number 1 contender is the man that was the champion until that fight started. You got to remember, up until round 1 started, up until that bell went, Jamahal Hill was still the champion. When the fight started, it became a vacant belt, okay? That's just the way it works. So Jamahal Hill is the next man up for the job, and Jamahal Hill is already talking about the fight. And he's pissed off because a lot of people are kind of favoring Alex Pereira because he's such a sophisticated striker. He's one of the best kickboxers that we've ever seen in the UFC. When you think about the greatest kickboxers, people like Anderson Silva come to mind. But Alex Pereira is right there. And that's why Jamal's mad, right? He is saying that he's going to throw it in everyone's face. He's going to throw it in your face. Don't throw anything in my face, Jamal. Certainly don't throw one of those massive right hands. But here is what he had to say. He said, mark my words when I say this. I do not plan on taking him down. I do not plan on wrestling him. I plan on going in there, and when y'all think he's just this otherworldly guy because he did kickboxing and I didn't do kickboxing, this is a completely different sport. I've been doing MMA for years. I've been bred in MMA. And whenever I do fight him, standing, I will knock him out. And when I do, I'm going to rub it in all of y'all's faces. All right? So that's the plan. He wants to go out there. He wants to stand. He wants to bang. He wants to put it in the face of Pereira. Now, when you look at Jamahal Hill, that is what he does. That's the way that he fights. No submissions. He's not a submission guy. He had his first professional MMA fight in 2017. He's been a pro for 6 years. He's done incredible things. Currently on a 4-fight win streak. Beat Glover by decision. Before that, 3 beautiful knockouts. Thiago Santos, Johnny Walker, Jimmy Crute. All good wins. That knockout over Johnny Walker, that was disgusting. Early in round 1, boom, massive right hand. Oh, man, Johnny Walker felt like a tree just being cut. It was like timber. Down he went, and his face was all pushed up against the octagon. A disgusting visual. And that is the kind of power that he has. And that's the kind of power that Alex Pereira has, right? But he's fucking pissed off. He's pissed off. He's like, why do you all think that I need to wrestle against Alex Pereira? That's why he's saying that he's going to rub it in everybody's face. He said, I won't rub it in Alex's face. Alex is a friend. But every single one of you that has talked and disrespected, regardless of anything, I'm better at my job. I am a certified one of the top 15 in the world in my weight class. He's number 1. He's not top 15. He's number bloody 1, and he's going to fight for the belt next. So, what do I think? Recently, I partnered with a company called Legacy Precious Metals. Now, I know a lot of people are going through tough times right now, but if you are fortunate enough to where you have a few dollars left over every month to think about investing, then maybe investing in gold and silver through Legacy Precious Metals might be for you. Now, the stock market, if you follow that stuff, it's all over the place. In fact, it's plummeting right now. But precious metals, they've always held their value or even increased. So, of course, that's something that we're all interested in. Does it have to be a lot of money? It can just be a little bit, because it all adds up over time. Now, if you click the link, there is a guide there. It'll tell you all about investing in gold and silver, or you can give them a call and they will answer all of your questions at 866-933-0317. I think it would be advisable to maybe wrestle, but the reality is that that's not his skill set. He does get the job done on the feet. Now, Alex Pereira is more technical, is more experienced, does have a little bit more speed. I don't know if he has more power. Both men are extremely powerful. He's definitely more experienced. He's been kickboxing pretty much his entire life. Jamahal Hill started combat sports when he turned down a basketball scholarship at college, got a feel for mixed martial arts, and the man's a natural fighter. I've had him on my podcast and he's talked about having some wild street fights and brawls and things like that. So the man can fight, and he's a big, mean, angry son of a bitch, and he's pissed off that he's already being disrespected and already being kind of overlooked. So he's going to go out there and he's going to stand and he's going to go toe to toe, and that means someone's going to get knocked out. I will say this: when you look at it, when you look at the fundamentals, Alex Pereira is probably a little bit more prettier, probably a little bit more refined, okay? But it's a refined style, but it's a basic style. It's jabs, it's 1-2s, left hook, right hands, and calf kicks and head kicks. He's not throwing wild spinning wheel kicks. Yes, the man's got flying knees. We all know how to do knees. He's a Thai boxer. He's a kickboxer. We can all do that. But he's not. It's pretty basic, straight down the line stuff. Jamahal Hill, the timing is a little bit off rhythm because, he's effective, but he's not quite as polished. Right? It's like when you look at Francis Ngannou versus Tyson Fury. Same thing. Not as polished, but very, very effective, right? When I fought Dan Henderson at UFC 100, I got knocked out cold. I'll guarantee you right now, I've been kickboxing since I was about 12 years old. I'm a more polished kickboxer. I still got put to sleep. Dan Henderson's right hand still sent me unconscious for the whole world to see and laugh their asses off, right? So the better, more polished, technical guy doesn't always win. And that is what Jamahal Hill is counting on here. Now, he's very confident in his skill set. He's very confident about taking the shots. But the reality is, can he take the shots? That's what Jiri Prochazka said. That's what he thought. And as we know, he even admitted himself, he got put to sleep, he went out. Now, the reality is, we don't know either. They don't know. Alex Pereira will be confident. Jamahal Hill will be confident, but that's why they're going to fight. Now, Jamahal is back. He's in the gym. He's going to be ready soon. I would say 3-4 months tops. What does that mean? That's lining up perfectly for UFC 300, which is going down in April. Alex Pereira is a fan favorite. He's taking over the world of mixed martial arts in such a record time. I mean, this man is phenomenal. UFC 300, I would like to see him on there. The return of Jamahal Hill, that makes all the sense in the world. And by the way, UFC 300 just came out. Conor McGregor's coach, John Kavanagh, was saying he won't be on that fight card. So that's a shock. I was fully expecting that. So I think they're going to save him for International Fight Week. That means they're going to absolutely stack it. The 100, 200, and the 300 cards, they always stack them. So Jamahal Hill, Alex Pereira, my pick, my guess is UFC 300. Jamahal Hill says that he's not going to shoot a takedown. What do you think about that? Do you think he's talking shit? Do you think he's trying to set a trap? Because that's what Jan Blachowicz said. Jan Blachowicz, when he fought Alex Pereira, said, I'm not going to go for a takedown. I have Polish power. And he does have Polish power. But when that fight started, what did he do? Salt Lake City, went out there. First thing he did, double leg takedown, took him down, controlled him for most of the round. Granted, rounds 2 and 3, Alex Pereira had more success and got the victory. But Jan Blachowicz swore, blind. He came on my podcast. He said, I'm not going to shoot a takedown. But the first thing he did was shoot a takedown because it's called being smart. It's called having a strategy, and it's called not telling your opponent your game plan. But I don't think Jamahal Hill will do that. I think Jamahal Hill will stand and bang, and I cannot wait for it because that is guaranteed to be a fantastic fight. So what do you think about that? What do you think about Jamahal Hill? What do you think about Jiri's performance at the weekend and the rise that he has had in mixed martial arts? Still, there it is. There's the video. Subscribe, ring the bell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.